Artbeads Cafe, where we have everything beady and a little splash of caffeine thrown in now and again. And I'm super excited because my guest for the first time on this side of the camera is Devin Kimura, CEO of Artbeads. It is a pleasure to have you on this side of the camera as a guest. Thanks for being here, Devin.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and thanks, Kristal. It is awesome. I mean, I've been on the other side of the camera for so long as we put together this show and a few others, and being in front of the screen or in front of the camera is really exciting, a little bit intimidating.
No. This will be fun.
But I am glad to be here. So.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the beginning of Artbeads 14 years ago. Something happened. You all came up with this idea in your garage, which is exciting, and I bet it started with a bead or two.
A couple of beads, yeah.
So maybe there's a good story you'd like to share with our beady people.
Yeah, well, a good story is kind of an understatement. So there's a lot of stories that have come up over the past couple of years, or 14 years actually, and you're a part of some of these newer stories, which are really exciting, some of which can be told and some of which will never be told.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So one of the stories actually is related to some of the jewelry that I've got here. This necklace actually is the very first piece of jewelry that I ever made.
Oh, number one.
Yeah.
And you still have it. That's so cool.
I still have it. I still wear it 3 or 4 times a week. It's the same construction. It's an Afghani bead. It's over 100 years old, and it's
really.
Yeah. I found it on eBay. Actually, I found a couple of dozen of these beads on eBay, way back when. And it's held together with a paper clip. I didn't know how to affix a bead at that time. The clasp, I just took some pliers in the garage and cramped them on there, and it's fine. It's been holding up steady. I wear it fishing and swimming and everything. But what's really funny about this particular bead is it's one of the first beads that we had on artbeads.com for sale. And the funny part about it is that I bought like a couple of dozen of these beads from this vendor, wonderful vendor, got them in stock. Back then I had my $1,000 Nikon camera. It was like awesome, and it's like a piece of junk now because in the digital world, 14 years, lots of things changed, and I was learning Photoshop, and so I got all these beads on the site. I was working on my text and describing it, working in Photoshop, cleaning it up. Spent days and days, it seems, getting this onto the site.
Nice.
And once I got them on the site, it was live. I called my mom. It's like, Mom, check out the site. I got these beads on there, and fantastic. And sure enough, I got an order that night.
Whoa!
My mom bought them all.
Well, that's rather supportive.
Yeah, it was really nice of her, but it's like, Mom, so I had to get some of them back because I wanted to put them back on the site. It's like, Mom, you bought half of my inventory. So that's the kind of the funny story related to
that is a great story. Oh, what a nice mom. Everyone wants a mom like that.
Oh yeah, she's great. Yeah, she's great.
Sweet.
She's an artist, and she's got a fascination with beads as well.
That's nice. And inherited some nice artistic genes.
Yeah, I try.
Yeah. And so I'm guessing that you've moved along in your development of jewelry and cool guy jewelry. I mean, Devin's cool guy jewelry. I'm here in the office, so I get to see what he wears, and it's cool guy jewelry. And I think it's so cool now that you're sharing your cool guy jewelry with the rest of everyone else.
Well, thanks, Kristal.
So they are spectacular pieces. So talk us through some of them.
Yeah, and compared to some of the elaborate things that I've seen on some of the Artbeads Cafe's episodes, some of the things that you and Cynthia and our other designers make are just, they're incredible. And my jewelry is very, very simple.
And guys love that.
They do.
Yeah, sure.
It's simple, and one of the things, and so this is really depends on, what your lifestyle is like, but I lead a very active lifestyle. I'm out in the woods, I'm hiking, I'm fishing, I love, doing all these things in the Great Northwest. And so, actually, Cynthia made me a couple of pieces of jewelry in the past, and they're like really beautiful, but she used some nice thin leather, which is perfect for some types of jewelry. Right. For me, day one. Ripped it apart. Did the same thing for myself, and I made some jewelry with the leather, ripped it apart. And so now I've been working more with the Chinese knotting cord.
Nice.
Yeah, and I love the Chinese knotting cord. I mean, it's super strong. It's very, very supple. It can go in the water. I mean, it's a synthetic material.
So people don't have to worry about it, because I know guys are in and out of water and things like that. Also, it comes in some cool colors, doesn't it?
It comes in a lot of different colors, and it comes in a couple of different thicknesses, like 1.5 or like a 2.0.
Good.
Great for different things. And so so I've been using that in a lot of my recent jewelry. I'm kind of work in the garage kind of guy. And so, this is a
Yeah.
piece that I made, which is kind of funny. And actually, I didn't make this in the garage. I worked on it a little bit in the garage, but I actually made this in a workshop with Tierra Cast. And it's really funny because this is there was a standard design, some standard pieces that were riveted on. And what I did is I kind of worked on them a little bit, and before I attached them to the bracelet, I took a hammer to them and I just banged the out of them.
That would be heck out of them, right?
Bang the heck out of them. Yeah, and kind of in a non-traditional way, I wrapped the leather. I don't know if you can see that, but I wrapped the leather. I wrapped the leather with this particular finding, and I just smashed it down with a hammer.
So are you saying that finding, all three findings are the same?
Yeah, they're exactly the same.
And you wrapped it, the two on the end, you wrapped around the leather piece, and you riveted the middle one in.
Yeah,
so they're all the same.
They're all the same.
That's really cool, because you would not know that by looking at that piece.
Right, yeah.
And you just hammered away. So if you've had a tough day in the office, it's a good thing to go.
Great
bang.
way to take out your aggression and frustration.
Nice.
And then the clasp, it was a really beautiful, elegant clasp. And so I took a hammer to that and I just smashed it out of shape. I got the curvature just right for my wrist, so it hangs nicely, it fits nicely, it doesn't bang around too much. And so that was really cool. I really liked that one, and I used the stamps to stamp the word dog in the tag.
That's great.
'Cause I love dogs.
Dog tag.
Like Cynthia, we're dog people. So
That's so
that's really fun.
great.
Yeah, so I'm kind of getting into the riveting these days. This is just a simple piece, with a snap on some suede, and I just kind of riveted a pattern into that. This particular piece I really like. It's on the Wrigley's leather with a magnetic clasp.
Slick.
It's slick. It's very. It's got a kind of an industrial look to it.
Definitely.
Because the clasp itself has kind of these riveted patterns in there. The rivets I used copper, and I used kind of an antique silver look.
It's nice how you mix the metal colors in that so that it goes with everything.
It does, yeah, and it's a random pattern. I start in the middle when I'm putting the rivets in, so I kind of have it somewhat even. And then and if you can see the back, it's got you can see how it's all riveted in, and it just looks really cool. Feels really good to wear, and it's fun. And I made this out on the concrete sidewalk.
Excellent. And so it's a random pattern, obviously, if you're out on
Totally random.
Concrete sidewalk doing.
Yep. Yeah, just hammering away. So rivets are fun.
Nice.
And then you can do something very, very simple. This is also a Wrigley's bracelet with a magnetic clasp. There's no pattern on it. It's just a nice thick leather, and the more it's worn, it's going to become a little bit more supple and cool. And this is one that my 15-year-old son said, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's something that I could wear.
Wow, that says a lot.
I know,
They don't
yeah.
say anything you make is very cool at 15.
Yeah.
And I bet all of his buddies think he's the cool guy on the block because he's got really nice cool guy jewelry.
Being the cool guy on the block is kind of runs in the family. So
I love it. Oh.
Yeah.
And then my favorite, personal favorite, this baby here. Tell us about that, Devin. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous.
Well, this is fun actually, and this is a little bit more complex. And what this is it's a herringbone bracelet where I've taken 7 segments of chain, of just a Rolo chain, and I've used the Chinese knotting cord to kind of weave it all together in a herringbone fashion. And
Very
then
cool.
I finish it off with some Tierra Cast beads that kind of have these larger holes, so it kind of cinches up around your wrist. This is it's got a wonderful pattern. It's very soft and it's heavy, and it just feels really good. My bone structure is a little bit lighter, and so this actually doesn't work very well for me. But I'm wearing a thinner one right here, and it's about the width of a watch band, and it just feels good. It's nice and heavy.
And you also have a necklace to match so
Right.
that it pulls in together, but it's not too much for a guy. Because, you don't want to be all blinged out like your wife.
I know, yeah. Definitely don't want to overshadow that.
Oh.
So I've used the herringbone, same technique,
Isn't that
put it
nice?
onto, I made a pendant out of it,
Nice.
on the 2.0, the 2mm Chinese knotting cord, with just a very simple crimp clasp at the end from JBB.
Great.
Yeah.
And it looks like you've used some knots here that tie in with your fishing skills.
Yeah, and this knot is cool. It's used in some jewelry applications. I actually
Yeah.
fly fish, and so this is very similar to like a tube knot, where I do some funky wrapping, and hopefully I'll put together a handy tip video very quickly to show you guys how to all do this knot, because it's a little bit tricky. And what I do is I just kind of cinch that knot, and the knot actually acts as a slider bead that holds everything in place. And so it's really fun and really cool, and you can kind of mix the colors up. I use this kind of burgundy color Chinese knotting cord for this piece with a little bit of dark green, kind of evergreen for the knot, and kind of gives it a kind of a different look. I mean, almost like an Asian look.
Yeah, it does. The muted, it's a muted tone, so that it's really, really calming and kind of a zen effect.
Yeah, I like it.
Wow, it's really, really nice. I like also how you can vary the width of the bracelet easily, depending on your style.
Right, depends on your style. You can use. We've got a couple of different chains in different sizes. So a little bit. This is actually a little bit of a smaller chain. I use 5 strands of chain for this one. This one is using a little bit of a larger Rolo chain, 7 strands.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's heavy. It's heavy and it's thicker, and you just vary it up, and it's a lot of fun. And you can
Substantial.
It is substantial.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so-
Oh, I love it. Well, this is fabulous cool guy jewelry, Devin.
Thank you.
Every single one of them. And we love that you shared it with us, because whether you are, the gal making it for the guy, or you're the guy and you want to go out and hammer some stuff on concrete or in the garage, either way, you're having some fun making the jewelry as well as wearing it.
It's a blast.
Sounds
it's really
like
fun.
it.
I enjoy it.
Great. Well, thanks for sharing this.
You're very welcome, and I hope to share some more stuff with you soon.
So do we.
I hope I get invited back.
That's still out for consideration.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll talk to the boss. Okay.
Thanks, Devin.
Thank you, Kristal.
So Devin, I want to share with you Kristal Wick's picks. This is one of my favorite segments of Artbeads Cafe. And this time it is the Rick's Beading Loom. This is so cool. Number one, it's kind of portable, so you can bring it with you on your vacation, or if you're going to be doing something over the weekend, you can bring it along. And it has so few threads up here that by the time you have done all your weaving, you come to the end, you are able to just slide the warp rod out and it's finished.
Nice.
So easy. Using other methods, there are all these dangling threads there that you have to deal with, and they get in the way and you have to figure out how to finish them. This one's really easy. So that's a real big advantage to this guy. And I know that people of all ages love to use this loom. As a matter of fact, a 10-year-old made that bracelet right there.
This piece here.
Yes,
Nice.
Courtney's little daughter made that piece, and I tell you, you would never know. And look at this piece here, same thing. So whether you're an adult making these things or you're a kid, it's so great because both generations can make this sort of thing. They can
So
pick
even
up
I
their...
can do it.
Oh, definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely you
Can't
can do
wait.
it. Okay, so you get the beading loom, and it comes with instructions, a one-page instruction sheet, and then you can add all kinds of other beads to it, different color threads, your pick. And then there's this wonderful little booklet that has all kinds of ideas and other patterns.
Nice.
So it's good to learn from the pros. They put that together. So again, you can do all these fun things and pick out your favorite colors, because your teenager will have a different color palette than you would. And so makes everyone else happy. Keep everyone happy in the family.
Nice.
Nice for some Christmas gifts, I'm thinking.
Love
Be
it.
a good idea.
Yeah.
So, yep, so that's Kristal Wick's picks, the Rick's Beading Loom. Devin, I love this bracelet. It's gorgeous. And I know that you use the Chinese knotting cord to weave through the chain.
Right.
That's a lot of weaving, and it looks really kind of cumbersome.
It can be, but I have a trick.
Ooh.
The Chinese knotting cord is pretty supple, and if you're going to be weaving through, and especially with this particular herring weave, you're actually going through twice through the same loop. And so that gets really, I mean, it's a traffic jam in there, and so you need to be able to get that thread through. So what I do is I take the cord, and I turn it into a needle. Ta-da!
Oh, look at that. It's
Yep.
stiff.
It's
Look.
right. It's completely
Excellent.
It's completely solid, and so I can take this and I can weave it through the chain. I'm going to show you how to do that. It's actually really simple
Great.
to do. So it's a very, very simple thing. And what I love, and this is something that is I cannot live without.
I'm with you.
It's a 2-part epoxy, 5-minute dry,
Yes.
and it's fantastic. I use it for everything at home. Jewelry is just a small portion of the uses, the things that I do with it.
And this is great because I know people are intimidated by mixing their own epoxy.
Yeah.
Once you get the hang of it, I think you'll end up drinking it like we do, because we use it on everything.
It's, yeah, like drinking the Kool-Aid. I've drunk the epoxy Kool-Aid, and so yeah, this stuff is really great. So this is a brand new tube, and actually this is cool because it's got the plunger which goes into both the glue and the hardening agent, and so it'll dish out the equal amounts, which is what you need to do when you're mixing it up. This will last you a really long time, unless you're like cementing together a patio deck or something. So Start off by just cutting off the ends, because you need to open that up. Now that I've got the ends cut off, I'm going to take like this cardboard piece, and I'm going to plunge out equal parts of the epoxy glue and the hardener agent that goes in there. And I don't really need that much. And what happened here actually, which is a nice tip, is that the plungers don't always dish out the same amount of epoxy, and you really got to try to get it equal. So what I do is I just take one of my popsicle sticks. I'll kind of you do have to eyeball it, so it's not perfect, but get it close. And if you need to just kind of scoop away some of the excess of either the glue or the hardening agent, depending on which one was a little bit excessive. So I've got that there. Be careful not to get it on anything else. I mean, epoxy, as you know, is like rock solid once it's done.
Cement.
It is cement. But it's great. It's flexible. You can use it for anything, indoors, outdoors, whatever. Take your popsicle stick and mix it up. You don't have to mix it too much, but it does have to be very well blended. But it doesn't take too much time.
Usually about a minute, I found, is surefire, so that it's going to, absolutely turn into concrete at that 5-minute place. I know a lot of people call in because they have questions. It didn't work. And a lot of times the reason why over time it doesn't ever harden is because they either have unequal amounts, or they haven't mixed it enough. Like they'll go 3 times around, and then they think that's good. Yeah. So these are the tips that
Yeah, I mean,
sure
you're creating a chemical reaction in the glue that just kind of changes what it is, and it's all got to be blended together nicely.
Exactly.
And so what I do here is I've got a little bit of glue on the card, and I simply just fold it. And this is just kind of an easy, kind of clean way to take the cord and harden it up. So it's folded, it's got the mixed glue in there, and I'll take the cord and I'm just going to run it through, and I'm just going to close it. It doesn't get my hands messy or anything, and I'll like that.
That's great.
Yeah, and I just do it a couple of times just to make sure that the fibers are completely soaked with that epoxy. And I'll usually take that, and you want it to dry straight. And we've got about 4 minutes left on that. And so what I'll do is I'll just like hang it from something, make sure it's not like leaning against anything, because it'll glue to whatever it is that it's touching. Usually I'll put it like on the edge of a table, and I'll put something there to hold it down, so it just hangs straight, and then that'll dry.
Great idea.
So what I've got here now is this is. I'm so prepared. Look at this. I've got one that is already done. So it's got the epoxy in the fibers of the knotting cord, so it's really stiff. But the end, as you'll see, is, it doesn't have the glue in the end. It's got to be nice and clean at the end so that you can thread it through the chain. So what I simply do is I flip it off so it's nice and clean. You're still going to get a few frays, but the Chinese knotting cord, it's a synthetic fiber. So what I like to do is just kind of melt the ends. And I don't burn it. I mean, I don't like put enough heat on it so that it catches on fire. Just make a little flame, get it just close enough for a sec, just so it kind of melts the ends. Just kind of dab it. Be careful. I mean, if you melt it too much, it's going to burn your fingers. But there you go. And so now it's not going to fray, because what will end up happening is especially if you're making a big piece like this, by the time you're done, that end's going to be all frayed out, and it's not going to work. And so, so this cleans it up. Nice. It's melted. It's perfect. And then you can just run it back and forth. And if you don't do this, it's going to take a lot of time, and you can end up with working with tweezers and pushing it through whatever. This is a simple.
That is a great idea.
Thanks.
Oh my goodness! Making your own needle.
Making your own needle, and it's just one of the many things you can do with the 2-part epoxy. I love it.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you for sharing Devin's needle trick. And thank you for joining us at Artbeads Cafe, where we have all things caffeinated and be delicious. If you have any questions for us, please get a hold of us. Let us know at artbeads.com. Thanks, Devin. It was a pleasure to have you as a guest.
Thank you. It was really fun to be here. I can't wait to come back.